Hey everybody, Joe Bumlin Acres here. Hope y'all are doing well. It is Monday, May 11th, I think. 11th. Kind of hard to lose track, kind of easy to lose track of things. Hope this message finds you happy and healthy. For all those in any areas that are affected, hope your family is happy and healthy. I do want to preface the beginning of this statement with, we live in Indiana. We're hundreds of miles away from any kind of hot spot, and we've been pretty adamant on our personal opinion that there has been overstep in response to the coronavirus. And I'm not walking back that, because I truly believe you can believe the importance and seriousness of this virus and still recognize that I'm concerned for a country that has given up its liberties so easily and quickly. Those 2 points are still valid. And I have a friend of mine who lives outside. I was best man at his wedding. We served in the Marine Corps together. He is, in my opinion, he's closer to me than pretty much almost any of my family members. We have friendship forged in the Marine Corps. So our family, and we're blood and bonded. He's right outside a huge hotspot, and it is very, very different what his experience with it is. And how he feels it needs to be handled is very different. And this is not we have a tendency to make caricatures of things and people that we don't agree with. That if you think different than us, you must be a fill in the blank kind of person. And I'm as guilty of that as the next person. And I was reminded through my communication with my friend, that there are some legit, while we can question the authority the government has utilized during this, we need to recognize this isn't I see people say it's a hoax virus or a hoax crisis. And I think there's a level of overstep, but that doesn't mean we need to delegitimize that there are people who are dying. And that does warrant thought. We as homesteaders, we are familiar with life and death. It is a part of our existence. I don't think we're callous to life and death. What I think most people in the natural community or in the community outside of us, they believe death is an aberration, that it is something that shouldn't happen. Where we believe that death is a part of life, and therefore we have a little bit of a different view on its importance and its relevant in our lives. But anyway, enough with that. I'm going to talk about projects. Let me tell you, getting into homesteading, you're going to have so many projects. Like your honey-do list, you better be ready for a honey-do list of your regular ones. Like everyone who thinks they're going to flee, go out into the country, and suddenly, your honey-do list is doing all the man stuff. I'm going to go out, take care and build, and just go. Like, yeah, you're going to get to do that. And you still get to do all the things that you need to do in your normal life to make your family happy, make your wife happy. I'm not one of those happy wife, happy life people. That is a true statement, but I feel like a lot of time it's overused, because my happiness is important too, and my wife does want me to be happy, and I want my wife to be happy. So our actions are based in that relationship. But you still get to do all those things. Like, this is not like it's not like a man retreat where you go out with your buddies and you're out fishing all weekend every day. Like every day you got tasks and things you need to do. Well, as you've seen during the virus, behind me is our large garden area. We use out of Eden style wood chips, which you'll see on the ground, which are actually turning out really, really well. We jump started it. Most of the time, if you're going to do an out of Eden garden styling, when you put down, most of the time they'll tell you, if you just put wood chips down, you're going to have it's going to probably be 2 years or so, because it takes time for those wood chips to break down into soil, because that's what you're doing. It's not magic. It's not wood chips magically make the greens grow in it. It's that the wood chips top lever, as they go down, they decompose and they start to produce soil. So you literally produce soil on top of the grass level below it. So it takes time. What we did was we put loads and loads of wood chips. We had 10 tons of wood chips. That was every bit of 8 to 10 tons of wood chips that went on that. At the same time we were putting that in, we mixed in manure and all that. We were able to get compost, large amounts of it, and we mix it into it. So we were already adding in those layers and those good microbes that are decongesting or ingesting all that wood and turning it into soil. So we actually have a really good soil bed. You go down into those wood chips, you get real nice soil. Where we're in southern Indiana, Kentucky area, where usually if you dig in the ground here, you get clay. So really happy with that style. Honestly though, this is our first year really planting in it. We did a small amount of box raised beds gardening last year, so we're really looking forward to seeing it respond. My favorite chicken behind us, by the way, that is Dixie. But so this will be the first year where we can really talk about its growing, and we've still done a limited amount. We haven't done a maximum amount of growing just because we're still getting comfortable with this. This wasn't our lifestyle. We've improvised as we've gone along. But in order to accommodate this out of Eden style gardening, you must have a large amount of wood chips. And we kind of stumbled upon a great solution for wood chips last year, is that my wife was literally in traffic driving the truck, and there was a tree company in front. She stopped them in traffic when they had a big haul in there. She's like, "Where are you dropping it off?" They came to our house and dropped off, literally, I'm not exaggerating. You look at our videos in the past, 8 to 10 tons of wood chips. There was 4 piles stacked up, and you can still see where some of them were. But what I'm gonna make over here is I'm just gonna make a 3-walled structure out of pallets. We get these longer pallets from a recreation store, and that's going to be my framed up point. And I'm literally going to make an area so that when we get wood chips delivered, we can just back it up and have them dumped right into that confined area. So when it's time to spread them out, we can borrow a buddy's tractor or go rent one and use it to get it on the garden. So we're going to do wood chips. You need to do out of Eden style gardening, which we are recommending, having a good time with. Got to have a place to store a lot of wood chips. Ideally, this is separate than composting. We actually already have a compost area set up by the garden space directly there. This is literally just going to be wood chips. I'm not going to mix anything with it. I'm going to put them there because literally you put them on the garden bed and they go through it. Then during the fall and winter and early spring, we're opening up the garden, let the chickens go through it, so they do a good job. But that's a project. 3-sided enclosed area. I won't put a ceiling on it, roof on it, but that's a project. That's up and coming. That was originally actually my kayak holders. We have 3 kayaks, and I just made a U and stabilized it, and that was for the kayaks. And honestly, we don't really go kayaking, so we're gonna sell the kayaks and gonna set that up so it can hold our everything else we need. So that's an upcoming project, one of many upcoming projects. If you get to homesteading, you're gonna do a lot of projects. Nothing wrong with it, always a good thing. So everything is going well on our homestead. The windstorm came through yesterday. We had hail coming down at one point. It was like I was waiting for frogs and the plagues of Egypt, but everything else is going great. We haven't, spring is a session of life. It's known as life. But I'll tell you, one of the other things that come along with spring is death. It might just be the dichotomy of life and death so close to each other. It makes it seem more, but you know, you get new animals, not all of them make it. Homesteading is part of, death is a part of life, especially on the homestead. So I will do a more formal show of the area at some point, because this is all done on my phone and it's all one shot. I feel like for me to just walking tours of the place every time, it's really long videos, and I have a tendency to ramble anyway. So if you give me the chance, I will just keep rambling on and on. So I hope this message finds you happy and healthy. I hope it finds you blessed. If you have any questions for us or updates for us, give a call and let us know. It's my wife calling me right now, so I can see it on the phone. Message, put a comment in. If you have any advice for fellow homesteaders like us, go on and post it in the comments. Share our video. You all have a great and wonderful day. Looking forward to getting the shears so I can get this trimmed up. Some of y'all, I prefer being bald actually. Bald and barefaced. So have a great and wonderful day, y'all. Bye.